Hey all, I wanted to show you this Chinese diesel heater that I'm installing in my diesel truck as part of my camper build. It's pretty neat. It's supposed to sit fuel, pump out a ton of heat, and they're roughly 150, 200 bucks depending on which one you get and what features you get. So yeah, here, check out my install and we'll fire it up together. So this is the heater. It's mounted in the bed of my truck here. Part of the build here, front of the truck, cabinets. Yeah, you guys could see other videos linked in the description to the builds of this camper. So this is the heater. Front, this is the intake grill. It comes off, it opens up here. So what you have is a fan. This is the control board under here. This is the glow plug igniter. There's a fuel injector for diesel. It's a multi-fuel unit, so you could run it on all kinds of vegetable oil, kerosene, purified waste oil. People run them on all kinds of stuff. I'm running mine on diesel off my main tanks. I have 2 tanks in the truck already, so I'll just tap into my forward one and run it off of there. And supposed to sit fuel anyway, so that'll just be awesome as heck. The wiring loom that comes with these guys is, pretty well done. This goes down underneath, you'll see in a moment. This goes to the fuel pump. This is the main harness that goes into the unit. This is kind of like the Chinese version of a weather pack. Power and ground. The only bummer is the ground's not too long, so just for my little testing here, we're just kind of being ghetto about this, and I'll show you my battery as we plug it in. So yeah, this is what we got going on there. And then coming out here, I just have the tube rigged. It's like a 3.5-inch tube that comes out. It'll go out by my cabinets and exit. But right now, I just have it here plumbed outside because obviously I'm in a t-shirt today, so it's, too dang hot. To have this thing all closed up and run it. Being it's Chinese made, I don't really like how this is just kind of the end cap sticks on, and just putting this on, it already popped loose on me. So I put some of this aluminum tape over the end here to hold the end cap to the rest of the unit. But apparently this doesn't get more than like 80, 85 degrees. We'll have to see here once we fire it up and get it running. I'll put the gun on it and, see how hot it is. So let's get to priming this unit. I have the new LCD controller. It's got altitude adjustments, so that's why I went with it. So you push down on the settings button, right click, and when it does that, you hold that and let go, then it'll hold it into that menu. You want it to be the H. It's off, and then when you click this to on, it turns the pump on, pump starts running. Let me show you what it's doing. So here's the pump running. It's already started to prime. The outside is by where the power is. There's an arrow on the pump. You could already tell it's noisy. I don't know how you guys can see it, but this is my line. This is the return line from the pump. This is my pickup line, and what I'm doing is just priming the system. I even shot a little bit of oil in here to get started, just so I knew that the pump wasn't going to be flapping dry to get started. So yeah, and this is my calibrated 1 liter of dang good tea. So what I'm going to do here is get this pump, let this thing run until it's getting a nice solid stream all the way through. Once the filter's good and full and all that horsey stuff, and then I'm going to fire this bad boy up, and we'll take some temperature readings and go from there on checking the thing out, see how it runs. One thing I might add is sound is everything. And as you're doing this, you can hear the pump change pitches as it picks up fuel, and when it starts getting air, it's a noticeably different sound. Just kind of hard to describe, but listen to the sounds. So let's talk about how this is installed. There's that plate that you can see on the top. That's the screws for it there. The 4 main screws that really matter are these guys here that hold the unit itself, bolted through the floor and everything, and I took the time to flatten the floor so where it mounted through. This is the intake. It comes along and it comes to this stock filter. It had this cap on it just to keep the crud out. I didn't want to just have the cap right here. I wanted to extend it, so I put it up to that unit. That block of foam is just there because it's still kind of gluing in place. But that upper piece is just like a over-the-top hat to keep moisture or water or splash dirt, crud, and all that out. That file and the file for this thing will be available in the description, and it'll be on Thingiverse, so you can check it out there. If you have access to a 3D printer, you could download that, and along with this little bracket here that I just did. I did a couple of different versions of this 9D and stuff like that. They'll also be available, so that way the fuel pump line and the fuel pump wiring harness and the line itself could run across to the other side to where my fuel tank is. So anyways, this is a fuel line that comes in here. It's the one next to the intake pipe closest to it. The other way you could tell is the intake of the combustion side is also on the intake where the screw-on filter is. This way, that's the way it was on the truck. This is the exhaust. It comes down. I got a bracket here. I added some stuff here because I didn't want it moving. Came out and I painted the outside black just so it doesn't show up on the truck as much as being obvious. I'll probably red ring the tip or something, so hopefully somebody doesn't gouge their leg on it. But yeah, so anyways, let's fire this bad boy up and see how it works. Oh, I might add that because this is my wheel well area, that I'm going to add a mud flap in the front of this to keep all the crud and, you know, junkola out of my nice new heater. So now I got this fuel pump image down on the bottom. And the fan's progressively picking up speed. Ooh. And there's temperature coming out of here. Not quite warm out of the outlet yet. But if you could hear over the airplane, things sounds like it's noticeably spooling up. Alright, old Bessie sounds like she just kicked into high gear. You could hear a audible combustion noise coming out of here. Noticeably warm air. The air out of the exhaust is by no means hot. It's just lukewarm. So let's give it a minute, you know, get the temperature and get burning here. Alright, I just gotta say, this thing is, whoa, get back here. Completely awesome. The air just kicks butt out of here. It's hot. Not noticeably loud outside, but it is, you know, it is loud. It's not quiet. It's not Mr. Buddy quiet. Well, I guess nothing can be that quiet. But dang, it's hot out of here. So let's get some temp readings. Alright, let's take a look at temperatures here. This is in Fahrenheit. So, yeah, you know, you can see, you know, it's averaging around 2, just over 2, but some of the areas peak into, you know, they bump 300. So, yeah, it's not the coolest system. The exhaust in here, oh yeah, there's 450 degrees. Coming right out. So, only getting 240, 250. 230.
Okay, seems like right before it goes into the exhaust, it gets the hottest. Kind of makes sense because that's where everything constricts down. But coming right out, you know, the floorboard right now, it's all in one shot for you guys. You know, the floor is 150, that bolt's 165 degrees. The exhaust pipe itself, 230. Intake 86, intake bolt 135. So overall, I'm not seeing a lot of heat, you know, being generated about 2 inches away. The floorboard's 120 some degrees. So you don't want to mount this right on carpet or anything. But this is a truck, so I'll take the little extra radiant heat. There's 100 degrees. So let's go inside and see what it's doing out there. Well, first off, the thing's not necessarily quiet, but it does work. But you do notice that if you just touch this shroud, it rubs, even if you move the exhaust. Ooh. So I need to check that out to see why it's doing that and what's rubbing and what I can do to support it, because this truck will get off-roaded and I don't even want to go to start my fan and it just be all buggered up. So anyways, temperatures here. Looking down, the aluminum on the exhaust side, you know, again, this isn't Fahrenheit for you Brits, but 75 degrees or so. So, you know, not bad at all. That is definitely comfy and not going to burn anything. 80 in here, 71, 67. The intake itself is 65 degrees. The outside, the truck body itself, it's warm in here, but if I point it back over here, there's 62. So let's go with that being the ambient temperature, 61. 61, 62 is the ambient temperature. But in here, I have both doors open on the build right now, and it's warm in here. Like, t-shirt, I'm comfortable. If I shut one door, it would actually get toasty warm. So this is the exhaust coming out here, and just sticking the gun on the exhaust grate. I'm getting 166 of exhaust temperature. So yeah, it is definitely warm coming out of there, and there's a lot of air, like a bunch. This is like woo air. So anyways, I'm really digging this thing. I think it's going to be a well enjoyed piece of kit. It's been running for 24 minutes now, and it's sipped like three-quarters of an inch or so, maybe an inch or so of fuel out of my 1 liter calibrated T sippy. So yeah, we're gonna just let this thing run. The initial smells went away in the first 10 to 15 minutes. That's when I buttoned up the hatches in here to let it kind of warm up, because it's getting to be evening time, and I'm just gonna let it run through that liter of fuel, and I'll check back in with you guys and let you know how long that was. And yeah, there will be other videos in the description for the rest of this build video, and possibly other things about this heater. Enjoy, you guys. Happy camping. Get the beard flowing for you. But yeah, no, I am completely stoked on this thing and how well it works. And hey, camera, hey.